Hey, welcome back, brothers and sisters, bro. Just like last time, bro, I said I'm gonna start preparing scripts, or at least some of these videos, I'm gonna have a script, or just read from my notes. So I was in the car, I was just freaking typing. So the topic of today is shadow work meditation, right? Let me see if I can get this light, maybe light a little better. Okay. So shadow work meditation. You're supposed to fall. You're supposed to fall. Fall without grabbing onto anything. Okay, so basically, this is me talking about shadow work, right? So just bear with me. Maybe it might make a little sense in the beginning, maybe it won't. Let me cook. Okay, you're supposed to fall. Fall without grabbing onto anything. Fall deeper and deeper into your psyche. Let the darkness of your imagination stretch out and go wild to its fullest extent, or at least as far as you can manage, because it is gonna get spooky, bro. It's about to get spooky. You fall trusting that God got you. In the same way, like a trust fall, you fall, but there's a safety net. It's almost as if you position yourself up here and you're supposed to fall down to a humble position, a humble state. Because you're up here and you got your shadow because it's all about you. You need to get humbled, right? Lower your position. You got a high heart right now. You need a low heart, a humble heart. You fall trusting that God got you, and that there's nowhere that you can actually, no, and that there's nowhere that you're actually going to fall. It's all imagined. Die to your imagined reality. Daily death. Die to your imagined reality. Die to your will. Let your will die. Let your will die so his will can shine through. So his will can shine forth. Right? Your will is dying in the process, yes, for his will to shine forth. Yeah. Don't even grab onto a thought, right? As you're falling, don't even grab onto a thought. And I say that to say this. One of these thoughts might say, I'm feeling this because of this person or because of XYZ. You're trying to find comfort in blame. You're trying to find comfort in blaming something. You're trying to give reason kind of for the shadow, for the suffering. It really just is what it is. You're meant to just think about it like an exploration. You're meant to just explore, bro. Right? You're not meant to be like, oh, this is here because of this, and this is here because of this. You're just adding to it, bro. You're wrestling. You're wrestling, and you picked up a weapon, and you're trying to fight. Lay down your weapon. Stop wrestling. Right? God says, let go. And the devil is the one who says, all right, let's wrestle. Let's wrestle. Let's tango. Let's get to the bottom of this, right? Let's use our understanding and get to the bottom of this. God says, let go. It's always in your highest interest to let go, right? And what you're letting go of is the mental projections. You're letting go of the mental grip you have on the situation, or the illusion of control you have. You're letting go of that. You don't let go and you just disappear as a person, and your life as you know it is just gone. In a way, yes, because you're living an imagined reality. So that is gonna go. That has to go, so to speak. But you don't fight and you don't force it away. This isn't something you can't get to where you want when you're swimming by like punching the water and trying to like fight the water. You're never gonna win fighting the water. You need to flow and let go, right? And the same way is this. Let go of your blame. Your suffering exists within you. It doesn't exist because of this situation, or it doesn't because of this. It's inside of you. It's your suffering. You're escaping the full extent of your shadow. No, you escaping the full extent of your shadow is only going to lead to the darkness controlling you from the background of your mind. You escaping by blaming is only gonna perpetuate your poop life. You don't do the things you want to do because you're being controlled by your shadow. You're being controlled by the monsters that lurk in your shadow. And essentially, they have the controller. They have the control over your life. You want to do things, but you don't do these things because you're being controlled. Logically, that makes sense. If it's your life and you have a free will, why don't you just will yourself to do all the things that you want to do? I guess that's a question to chew on, right? I can give an answer, but really it's just another thought. And really, it doesn't mean anything because my answer would be from my experience. This is a question you need to inquire. You need to question and see what God reveals in your life, right? Yeah, you escaping the full extent of all like falling, you escaping that is only going to lead to whatever you're running away from. That's going to be what controls you, right? It is, and this is uncomfortable. The process of doing this shadow work meditation, falling, say to yourself mentally, fall deeper, fall deeper. And then once there's when there's a room that you see that you automatically resist, ask yourself, is this as far as I go? Is this as far as I go in my own house? I can't even go into all the rooms in my own house. Think about that. Your mind is supposed to be your house, and you can't even go into every room because you're scared. Does that even make any sense? This is your house. It's almost as if you let invaders come in and take over. You should be able to go into every room in your mind. There isn't a single room that you shouldn't be able to open the door to and then sit in that room. It's gonna be uncomfortable, right? And then we'll carry on from there. It is gonna be uncomfortable, but discomfort doesn't mean bad. Discomfort doesn't mean run away. Discomfort doesn't mean something's wrong. Discomfort means necessary. All of these mental storms, all of the tension in your body, all of it is necessary. Change your perspective, change your paradigm. It's not bad. It's not something you need to distract yourself from and escape from and do anything else but be here and feel this. No, you're supposed to feel this. It's necessary for your growth. It is necessary for you to become the person God intends for you to be. Right? Don't let what lurks in the shadows control you from don't let what lurks in the shadows to control you for your whole life. Don't let yourself be controlled your whole life. You think because you can drink when you want to drink and you can have intercourse whenever you want to have intercourse that you're free. Why aren't you doing all the things that you know you should be doing then? Because you're not free. You're enslaved. Whether that be to your mind, to the desires in your heart, or to the monsters that lurk in your shadows. Because believe it, there are monsters that lurk in your shadows. And they're the ones running the game right now. Because you can't confront them because you're scared. And I'm not saying like, ooh, look at you, scaredy cat. Ooh, boo, boo, boo. Everybody, look at this scaredy cat. It's scary and it's uncomfortable. Right? But okay, you have two options here. You either face the demons, slay the dragon, face the dragon, confront the monsters that lurk in your shadows, or you don't. There's not A, B, C, D, all the above. You have A and B. You have red pill, blue pill. You either confront or you don't. You escape. You either grow or you escape. The choice at the end of the day is yours. But if you're going to suffer, your suffering should have purpose. And in Christ, everything has purpose. In Christ Christ calls us to have thanksgiving in no matter what we do. And that's how you worship always. You're always to always say thank you is to make your life a prayer. To always say thank you is to make your life worship. To pray without ceasing. Also, to pray without ceasing is to always submit to God. Submit to God in all of your ways. And that could be taken a lot of ways. That could just mean you let go of the control in your mind. You let go of the control that you think you have. Jesus, take the wheel. And it also means, it's also been said that submitting to God means that you feel everything in your heart. You feel all the sadness, you feel all the anger, you feel all the envy, you feel all the jealousy, you feel all the whatever the heck, and you take it. You observe, you allow it to be without judgment. You allow God to purify. You allow the holy water and the cross to purify, exorcist style, bro. And when the demon was getting exorcised in the exorcism, her head was flipping. She was throwing up. Get away from me, you freaking freaker freak. And the same thing's going to happen in your inner environment. Your mind's going to go crazy. The turbulence is going to get more turbulent. But discomfort doesn't mean bad. More discomfort doesn't mean bad. It means more growth. It means necessary. It means this is the monster. It means this is your shadow. It means these are the monsters that lurk in your shadow. Are you going to confront them or are you going to run away again? Like a scared little person. I got a little passionate there. Let me continue. It is necessary for you to become the person that God intends for you to be. Don't let what lurks in your shadows control you for your whole life. One must confront the monsters that lurk in their shadows, or they'll control them from the back of their mind. From the back, no diddy, but diddy. I'm not even going to explain that, because you're getting bleeped by these. Come on now, finish it. You are controlled by your shadow, by these monsters, by unclean spirits. Carl Jung says, Carl Jung was a freaking prophet. Nobody can tell me otherwise, but I'm going to continue. Carl Jung says, if you do not make the unconscious conscious, it will control your life and you will call it fate. Mic drop. I could end the video right there. But I'm not. Meaning, if you don't shine the light of awareness, unjudgmental awareness, accepting awareness, grateful awareness, submitting awareness, if you don't shine the light of awareness on your shadow, those aspects of yourself that you have deemed no good and rejected and resisted your whole life, those unwanted components will control you. And you will call it fate. Oh, it's just because that's who I am. It's just because it's who I am. No, it's because you can't confront. You're scared. It's because there's rooms in your house that you can't go in. It's not because that's who you are. God never intended for you to be someone. What's a good example, bro? Like, I just can't do that because that's just who I am. I just do all this bull crap because that's just who I am. Is it you or is it an unclean spirit that's controlling you because you can't confront the monsters that lurk in your shadows? That's a mouthful, and I'm going to keep on going anyway. Blah, 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 blah. Your greatest discipline, your greatest creativity, your greatest athleticism, your greatest you is in your shadow. It's in the places of your mind you refuse to look. All of your growth is in the places that you don't want to go. It's in Shell City. If you know, you know. I think there was something I want to add to that. The greatest you is in your shadow. The greatest you is in your shadow. The greatest you is in submitting to God when the shadow components come up. The greatest you is in saying thank you when the shadow components surface. And they're always gonna surface because they control you. It's not like you have to do like ayahuasca and shrooms and like you gotta meditate for 5,000 hours to just get some shadow components. They're always there. Abstain from doing things you usually do, and the habit energy is gonna rise to the surface. For example, if you watch YouTube all day, if you go home, you turn on your TV instinctually because you're programmed to do it. You turn on your TV and you watch YouTube. Don't do that for 10 minutes, and the habit energy that controls that is gonna come up. Shadow. That's just one example. And that's a very powerful one. That's not a little one. That's not a little boat, bro. That's big boat. That's yacht. Big boat. Yo, Christ is king, bro. Run it up in the comments. What? The greatest discipline you've ever seen in your life is your mind. It's not in your mind, it's also in your mind, but it's your mind. It's the persistence of the thinking process. These thoughts persist around the clock. No lunch break. No lunch break. There's no breaks. Go. The incessant chatter of the mind. No lunch break. And if there is a period of you being present, right? No more thinking mind, and you're present in the moment. The mind comes back. It's almost as if it falls, but it rises again. What a great persistence, bro. Hold up. Let me cook. The mind comes back, persisting relentlessly as it does. What an admirable persistence. Let me cook. The object of the persistence isn't very admirable. It's judgment, it's intrusive, and it's seemingly overbearing. Yet the persistence itself is amazing. Yet the persistence that is around the clock, no lunch breaks, is extremely admirable. What a great persistence. The disciple, the mind, the spirits in your psyche, they got the teaching. Satan gave them the teaching. We're going to say Satan. Actually, I was going to elaborate on that, but we're not going to elaborate on that. I don't care. Satan gave the disciples the teaching, and the disciples executed relentlessly. The greatest disciples you've ever seen in your life are these unclean spirits. But it's almost like an anime in the way that when God purifies them, when God fights on your behalf, because you can't do anything, lay your weapons down, give up the illusion of thinking you can get rid of anything or change yourself, because you can't. It's all God. When these unclean spirits are cleaned, they join you and they power you and they push you towards your goal. And that persistence is now on your team. It's like you just acquired a familiar, right? Say there's a boss that's a dragon. You slay the dragon. Now the dragon's on your team. Now you got a familiar. You got a dragon pet. Dragon tales. We're almost done, Dragon Tales land. All right. What an admirable persistence, bro. Yet the persistence of is amazing. And that's your persistence. You've just allowed it to be hijacked by not making the unconscious conscious and having your rejected components of yourself control this persistence. Bars. What a great persistence. You have to give the mind flowers, because you need to venture off to understand how the mind works. You don't get there by judging the mind and saying, why can't you just be good? Why can't I just think the thoughts I want to think? You don't get there by wrestling. You get there by venturing to understand. And what a great persistence. There's nothing more greater than that statement when it comes to going to understand, bro. It's almost like say you're a dance team, you have one dance team that you're a part of, you're an amazing dance team, and then you have an arch nemesis rival dance team, but they're also freaking amazing, right? It wouldn't make sense for you to just judge them as the arch nemesis and not look at any of their moves, not learn anything, not implement anything from you guys' rivalry. That's just stupid judgment. I'm gonna judge you real quick. That's stupid. So what you do is you watch them dance. You watch them dance. You admire their dance moves, and you see, oh, look how he just moved his left foot. I can do that. I already have something lined up. I got a set where that could work perfectly. You understand and you grow. You don't grow when you judge. You grow when you understand. Right? Yo, that was good. Yo, Christ is King. That's it. There's no more left. We're going to wrap it up. Everybody, I want to say, if you made it this far into the video, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. And shall we do a little gratitude prayer? Really, honestly, if you want to rewire your mind and you want to change your experience, focus in on your heart and bring up a sensation, bring up an elevated sensation of gratitude to the best of your ability. And then just hold that for as long as you can. Because I think there's a scripture that says, or it might be interpreted as, you have to remain in the prayer answered. Gratitude is the prayer answered. Freedom is it's really gratitude, because when you get what you want, you're grateful. And you have everything. When you have gratitude, you have everything. And whether you know it or not, when you're anxious and you ruminate on your anxiety and all of this overthinking, you're praying. And guess what? You're praying for more of that, right? But that's only when you're unconscious. When you do the shadow work meditation, it's different, because now you're shining awareness on it, and you're not necessarily praying. But when you're unconscious and you just ruminate on these things, all of your attention is, I can't even truly describe it, but you're praying for anxiety, right? The only way you don't pray for anxiety when you're feeling anxiety is when you're consciously submitting to God when it surfaces, when you're consciously saying thank you for when it's there, when you're just watching it, just remain a witness, when you're accepting it, then it passes. But when you're wrestling with it, you're praying for it, and you're going to get more of it. It's almost like you're a cell tower. You're a cell tower that attracts what you put out. I don't even know if I like that wording, because that sounds law of attraction-y. But that is how it is. You're meant to remain in the prayer answered. Yeah, okay. We're going to wrap it up. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Christ is King. I'll see you guys in the next one. Salud.